Celebs can't quit Donald Trump. Roll it.
Have you thought about the possibility he might use the power of the federal government against you personally?
Yeah, I have, but I'm comforted in the fact that he's coming after you first.
Clooney should get out of politics and go back to television.
I will if he does.
I don't hate the guy. I hate the people who vote for him. I think they're stupid. I don't think I do. I'll be honest with you. I have no respect for you.
If you could be president, do you ever think about anything like that?
No.
Really, never?
No.
Why?
I wouldn't make a good president.
You don't think you'd be good?
I wouldn't really pass any of the things that you have to pass to, but I guess Trump did it.
Yeah, no. you would be a Boy Scout like a
Yeah.
Well, that didn't age well for either of them.
Whoops.
So, Mr. Trump, the thing that I think my theory is that famous people don't like it when their fame is put in proper perspective, when it's dwarfed by somebody with more fame. So they prefer to be on the hierarchy of fame. They want to be on top. I notice a lot of these guys, it's an emotional response to the fact that you're bigger, more well-known. Does that make sense?
Well, I know some of them, and like Howard, I was on Howard Stern's show as much as anybody, and
yeah.
he was great at that time, and then he went woke.
Yeah.
And since he's gone woke, his ratings have gone down the tubes, and he sort of went anti-Trump for a couple of reasons. Mm-hmm. But I was on his show a lot.
Yeah.
In fact, he has a best of. Did you ever see the best of Howard Stern? I don't want to promote it necessarily, but and I was there for just about all of them. The best of. We had good shows. He was good, but he's changed, and he doesn't do the ratings anymore.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't have to. He's almost finished. Kat, do you remember Howard Stern?
No, but you've been on every show. I mean, you've been on TV a lot.
A lot of shows.
I mean, would you rule out? I'm not saying now, but would you ever rule out doing reality TV again? Like, what about hosting Love Island?
So, I had The Apprentice for 12 years.
Oh, I know.
14 seasons, but 12 years, a lot of time. They wanted to renew me for 5 years. They were all set to do it, and I didn't want to do it. I wanted to run for. I said I wanted to run for president. Mark Burnett, who's a great guy, and the producer and all of the people from NBC, everybody came up to see me to talk me out of running. They said it's not possible to win. Nobody's ever done that. I mean, and nobody ever gives up primetime show. It was a big hit, and they wanted to do a 5-year extension. I said no. That's actually when I knew I was going to do it, and I love doing The Apprentice. It was so successful. The big question is, did it make a difference? Would I have been president? A lot of people say they created this guy from The Apprentice, and I don't know if that's true because they chose me because of the success.
I think it was your chemistry with Bret Michaels.
Yeah. Bret Michaels was a character. We had great characters.
Yes.
And we learned a lot about, we had Dennis Rodman was great.
Oh, he was fantastic.
And we had tremendous characters on the show. We had a lot of, everybody was helped basically by being on The Apprentice. But I just wanted to do it. I saw what was happening with the country. The country was going bad. And now what they've done with the border and the wall and the whole thing, they could have built an extra 200 miles. I built much more than I said I was going to build, and it worked. I had the Mexican government giving us 28,000 troops. We had so many Mexican troops, they had no choice. They had to. Otherwise, I said, I'm going to put tariffs on your cars that you stole from. They stole 32% of our car industry, okay, which is not, we'll get it back. Don't worry about it. But, I really felt I wanted to do it because we can make our country. The Make America Great Again is such a great MAGA, is such a great tag. And I watched Biden where he was very angry at MAGA. He said, we've got to stop MAGA. And I'm saying, it's Make America Great Again.
Yes.
It sort of doesn't work so well, right? Make America Great Again. And that's what we'll do. If you think of it, we have 21, I believe it's 21. They say 16, but what difference? It's a lot of people, more people than any country could sustain. 21 million people, many come out of jails and prisons, slight difference between one being a little bit more harsh. They come out of mental institutions and insane asylums. They come out of terrorist schools. They come literally out of schools, but they're terrorists. We have people coming from gangs, the worst gangs in the world, MS-13, considered the meanest gang. They cut people up. They don't want to use guns. They attacked 2 young 16-year-old beautiful girls walking to school. They cut them up with a knife. They didn't want to shoot them because it wasn't painful. They both died. And these people are coming out into our country. And now you look at what's happening in, like, Aurora in Colorado. Venezuelan gangs are taking over the real estate. They're becoming real estate developers. And they have...
Do they get little cards?
They have whatever they want.
You know, like a little real estate card?
Yeah, yeah.
Mr. President.
They have their little card is a bullet.
Yes.
Mr. President, can I ask you a question? With talking about the border, not just all the young military-age men that are coming across this country,
right.
the fentanyl that's coming across this country.
It's terrible.
If you were in office, would you consider taking importation of fentanyl as a terrorist act? Because if you count it under terrorism, then our Department of Defense can get involved. We give our law enforcement a break.
Correct. Well, and you can even go further than that.
Yeah, I mean, you could send pictures of their mansions to certain individuals in Mexico.
And by the way, these are really rich people. These are the cartel people. These are really rich. Look, we can play games, and we can be nice, and we can be smart. You're never going to... I set up blue ribbon committees. Friends of mine, could I get on a committee? They didn't know the first thing about it. They don't know about El Chapo. They don't know about... These are very smart, hardened people. And, you know, I'm setting up a blue ribbon committee with socialites from New York and California. It's ridiculous. And they don't even want to talk about it. They talk about it for 2 minutes, then they start talking about society. The only way you're going to stop this is the death penalty for drug dealers. I don't know if this country is ready for it, but if you think about it, each drug dealer on average kills 500 people, on average. He or she, drug dealer, kills 5. I know so many families who have lost a son or a daughter, or parents even, to fentanyl. And I had a deal worked out with China, with President Xi directly, that he was going to give. You know, China has the death penalty. I said to him, do you have a drug problem? When I first met him, he looked at me like, what a stupid question.
Exactly.
He said, no drug problem. I said, well, what do you do? Death penalty, immediate death penalty. And I said, that sounds... He said, without it, I talked to him a lot about it. He said, without it, you know, China was a drug-loaded country years ago. Other countries, much smaller, would take it over because they were all
wasted,
drugged out with the opium and the poppy, and they had a big problem. But they execute drug dealers. They have absolutely no drug problem. Singapore has no drug problem. And it's not nice to talk about, but it's the only way you're going to solve the problem. You're never going to have... Now, we got it down to great numbers, the lowest numbers, but the wall helped. A lot of things helped. But in terms of getting a drug-free country, you can't have that unless you have the death penalty for the dealers.
All right, we got to take a break.
Taking it as a maybe on Love Island.
All right. Up next.